good on my thoughts for now. Oh, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for subscribing, dude. I appreciate it. Oh, just playing some Disco Elysium. We'll be heading out to sea next week, so I gotta get my time in and beat this game and then SMT3 before I play SMT5.
Oh, hello, dear. I didn't notice you at first.
She smiles up at you distractedly. Tell me about some cool cryptids.
Sometimes the most charming thing you can do is be reasonable in your requests.
Could you tell me about just one more interesting cryptid? The Insulindian phasmid was great.
I suppose you could use a break, and I could use a distraction.
Yes.
One cryptid, like you said. One. This can't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. We have things to do.
Cryptid extravaganza. I like the sound of that.
And I don't. Just one.
Just one?
Or he'll be disappointed in you. Ooh, tough choice there.
Oh, this is a tough choice. I don't want him to be disappointed in me. We're gonna go for, are there any invisible cryptids?
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
Shush, Kim. She's gonna tell me about the invisible cryptid. What is it?
It's the Col de Mama d'Aqua. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Col de Mama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
Col de Mama d'Aqua can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
A whisper light and low.
Yes, that's another translation. They're both quite lovely, aren't they? Although the low part is a little ironic. The Col de Mama d'Aqua makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere all of the time, and we wouldn't know.
Oh, dude, congratulations. I hope that you're enjoying having it.
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
Could it be here? Right now?
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
Maybe it's predatory.
What if it's predatory?
It's not. Don't worry. If it were predatory, we would have found it by the damage it inflicts.
I wouldn't be so sure. What if the damage is also invisible?
Half-Light, you're too paranoid. What evidence is there of this animal being a sound?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagi ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing.
1 second, I'm replying to Serenity's picture. Oh, no nibbles.
When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
Soundbirds, just not yearly.
The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest pitched bat calls.
She transforms, when speaking about these strange animals, into a confident woman.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Coldamamadakwa, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
Wow.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them.
No.
Sequester, Time, Joscan, those are but some of the Mamadakwa they followed individually.
Why is the Mamadakwa so afraid of us?
That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
Extinction?
They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mamadakwas. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
They cancel out.
This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the explaining things thing. Psst. They cancel each other out.
Thanks, Encyclopedia. They cancel each other out?
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population.
No.
Great regret washes over her. A wending cloth.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Coldamamadakwa population anywhere.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though, ma'am.
I'm glad you did, dear.
Interesting. What about?
What about what?
This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
Turns out the water lock was broken, so your husband is just probably stuck further down the coast. He should return now that it's fixed.
What wonderful news. Thank you, dear. You've already done so much. But if your investigation happens to take you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
Of course. Do it. Who knows what mysteries await?
Who knows what dank mysteries
The
await?
quest for knowledge is never over.
Adventure!
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know that you're here. When or if I get there.
Oh, you're such a dear.
That's all for now, ma'am. Goodbye. Goodbye! Alright, now our adventure brings us to other lands, both brave and bold. So I have with me power. A power to control time.
Was that? Could it be the Coldamamadakwa? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear.
Is it? Is there ringing? Listen more closely.
There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic. But, admittedly, there is a high-pitched noise somewhere there too. But then, isn't there always?
Harry discovers he has tinnitus. Listen closely first.
There it is again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species. Yeah, but how are you going to catch it?
Keep listening.
It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you. Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder. What are you doing? You're a police officer, not a pansy ornithologist. The only birds you should be looking for are healthy women of childbearing age.
Hold very still and hope the bird comes to perch on your shoulder.
Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the sound of the streets.
Go then, leave like everything else. No, come back please.
Keep your ears peeled then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
Physical instrument too horny.
That pawnbroker, Roy, was into natural sounds too. Maybe you could talk to him.
Alright, so I got a new thought for my thought cabinet. The thing is, though, is that I want the Bow Collector, I want White Morning, I want Aces Low, I want that one, I want the Lonesome Road Home, I want Rigorous Self-Critique, that one, Precarious World 2, Data Bird Chat. I'm happy with all the things I have right now. I will talk to Roy, though. And then I'll go find Lena's husband. I'll shake down the third racist. I'll do the Insulinium Phasmid thing. I'll go to the church. I'll take care of that. And then I will,
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Do you have any recordings of the Col do Mamadakyu?
The Col de Mamadakwa?
Dakwa.
Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter.
I've been really into all kinds of art lately. Experimental things, you know?
What an interesting development. Well, it's been a long while since I've gone hunting for the Col de Mamadakwa. Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore, and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead. This was before, you know, lost touch with them after all of that.
Sounds so cool.
Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Col de Mamadakwa. And he was one of those passionate people who know a lot about all kinds of strange things. So he got the rest of us to join in his search.
Did you ever find it?
We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them, cut them up and combined them into the Symphonia Col de Mamadakwa.
Can I listen to it?
Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. But I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds that might be what you're looking for.
Do we really have time for this?
Yes, it's absolutely necessary for my research.
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Just left a recording device there one morning. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear. It will be strange.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortably low, like it's coming not from the speakers, but also from inside your chest, breathing is becoming difficult. That's an illusion. Your breathing is just as it was and will remain that way unless you start panicking. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. It feels as though someone is standing just outside your range of vision and watching you, doing this to you.
It's me.
He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some random, some appearing to form patterns, hit your eardrums. Seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
Seagulls?
And skewers, but shh.
A new high-pitched shivering sound.
That's it. The signal in the noise. The thin whisper. A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling. You are mesmerized by the sounds, but also feel nausea welling up as the motif continues, then begins to recede, dissolving in what must be the sound of water lapping at the bank.
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Imamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher than its predators can hear. Still, fascinating, aren't they? Early morning sounds.
Man, that's some great fucking foreshadowing. I love that. The bug! The bug! The bug is here and the bug is loved. Huh? Oh, that was weird. Eh? What? Okay. I have a spear at the core. Legendary with her. But I'll focus over here first. Beep boop. We're gonna talk to, honestly, I don't really care to hear about the sad tale of what's-his-face, Perpetual Doom Cycle Spiral. But I do want his jacket.
You stop mid-step and put your hand on a garish necktie.
That bottle, Bratan! Just look at that bottle!
Where? What bottle? What?
In this drunk's hand.
Oh yeah, I
on
need to get
the
that.
pipe there. Glowing blue, a mysterious, otherworldly blue, filled to the brim with holy mysteries. It's hard to know what exactly your vivid interior is speaking of here, but I'm guessing it's got a lot of alcohol in it.
Okay, cool. What do I do next?
Oh, I think this is about so much more than cool. Please go talk to him. See what it's about. I'm drawn to it.
Thanks, necktie. Alright, let's talk to the vendor.
Good to see you, friend.
Does he actually know you? Or is he just shopkeep friendly?
This is your two
Somebody
friends.
see? There it is, Bratushka. The spirit. Let's buy the spirit. 300 real is a lot, but this has to be done. It's our end game.
This is the mystery and the truth, and I need to buy that spirit.
Exactly! This is no ordinary drink! It's what our relationship has been building towards all these years! This is the climax, the mystery, the virginal sigh! That drink is special! You have to buy it from him! Get it off him! Kill him if you have to! Our ultimate fate depends on it! And the fate of many worlds!
The lieutenant looks at you, looking at the bottle of spirits, then at Rosemary, suspiciously.
This is happening, Kim.
He knows something is going on. In your head.
Why does the bottle of spirits cost 300 real?
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture.
No one can buy spirits for 300 real. That's crazy. Let him speak.
You know, it's funny, actually.
He bursts out laughing, then he takes 3 gulps of his Pilsner stares at you intently.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What is it?
What?
Keep him talking.
What do you mean, what? What do you think was funny earlier?
This guy.
He says and shakes his index finger at you.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Where'd you get the bottle of spirits from?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office.
He ain't shitting you! Medicinal spirits are a blast, Bratan! The flaming truth of this joke of a world!
Thanks, Necktie.
I got one of those scientific ampules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it.
God.
It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink.
Spits a nasty little clot on the ground before you. 1 second. How's the sound, by the way? I could probably turn it up a little bit. Oh, sorry, Max. Never mind.
Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go.
That sounds dangerous.
It was. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all.
Have they no shame taking money for a service they provide?
But the idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead things.
He gets an excited gleam in his eyes.
It's like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila! What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol.
There were snakes in it?
Snakes or intestinal worms?
God.
2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it.
Don't say it.
Don't say it. I think it will prove useful. Yes.
3 real and it's yours, friend. The deal of a lifetime.
How could I deny this man?
Well done. You got it. That's a much more reasonable price right there.
Here's the
Makes
money
sense now.
for the spirits.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
Cheers, bro.
Bratan, I am so proud! Now, whatever you do, don't drink it! This deserves so much more than just regular oral consumption!
The tie is so on the money there. Up the bum it goes.
I don't want to put it up my bum.
Who said anything about putting it up there? No! We're gonna put it into a way more special place! So special! Just hang on to it! Keep it safe! Wait for my sign!
Electro's crazy.
Soon. The time will come soon. Have patience, brave one. I'm getting a really dark vibe from this. This won't be pretty.
Alright, now I'm gonna start skipping.
Sure.
Don't mind old Rosemary here.
Oh, you see, full cigarette.
The hook. Where is it? I can't see it.
Looks like you're on your own hook.
Of course.
He has long forgotten what you were talking about.
In the civil.
Half-Light kinda right for once, oh yeah.
The noxious...
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
Who's Abigail?
Uh-huh. Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are she's gone. Call... You're not...
Skip.
Never thought you'd see some...
Don't call Abigail.
The man hiccup. He snorts and...
Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail. Don't you fucking call her. Hear me? Abigail.
Awkward.
Don't call her.
Goodbye. Alright, and then there's Idiot Doom Spiral.
Tequila! Good to see you. So
Shake
what's
his
happening?
hand. Wait, tequila.
He says it good.
I like this guy. You should too. He respects you by calling you your true name.
I am below.
That's the spirit. I sadly...
This guy, Idiot Doom
I don't care
Spiral.
much for this guy's side
This is
quests
bound to
or
be
his
a
dialogue.
good, high-concept conversation.
What do you guys do around here? Yep.
Okay,
I'm just
we're-
doing it
so
to get
now
the
it's
dialogue
you.
options for later.
We've met...
No, you sure
Maybe?
don't.
Maybe.
Tequila. Tequila Sunset.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Can we meet on Friday?
Hey, let's not... You got here... Word on this...
It is. Oh yeah.
So this is the breakdown that
Lieutenant's
basically
brow
says
is
that
furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
Hey.
It was a late Saturday night when
Oh, yeah!
one moment we
Do
Yep.
you
naturally loud anyway.
So we already know.
What
For those who don't know,
naturally.
the time hath
the
come.
time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things.
It's more dignified that way.
After which, your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
The muscles in your right, your hands cramp.
We ran towards the... When we
In this
So yeah, this is the
Recognize
story
what else was-
basically.
We asked
how
about the whole tequila sunset thing, and you know
was hairy.
that's just what your mother ours. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
They say anything specific about this person who fucked me?
You were pretty vague.
Please, don't.
No one's fucked me.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful. To
Did I
be
mention
honest
losing
with.
anything?
Beside your gun and your badge, in retrospect,
Lost
I
his
guess you
hope
lost your motor
or his
carriage
heart?
too. That's a big.
Say anything
you
about my
told us
colleagues?
It's more like
They're
you
cramping my
were
style.
theirs.
no specifics though.
Same thing about the
A lot of
case.
cops,
You're doing it
it's not
solo
meant as a
now.
joke.
So basically,
He's sorry
this
for
this
that.
guy is telling us that we told our people at the precinct that we're doing this solo. We don't fucking need you guys, and you go off and you basically fuck yourself up.
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes... You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop, and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid."
Yep, that sounds about right.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
You seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. Want to tell me another sometime?
Whoop-de-doo.
How'd you
So
become?
It depends.
The gleam, you might get scammed here.
You want booze, don't
I
you?
don't want it, man. So, have you
got
got
that
anything
Commodore
for good
Red.
old idiot classy?
Hey, Spiral Boy.
Don't call.
Shut up, guys.
All
I
right,
was
so
one- I used
so
I
George is gonna
developed
tell us the
power.
tale
It did, but now
of how he
one day I
essentially
left-
He's right.
went
His
down
eyes are
a
his
horrible,
eyes are
twisty
yours.
So I
turn of
was halfway
shenanigans,
done with my usual wet. I made my way back naturally.
and he locked
the
himself out of the
situation
house. Oh yeah,
required me to climb
Harry
over
was
the
always
gate,
anti-capitalist.
Which I did. There was no climbing down because
Feline
whatever.
reflexes.
So I made my way across the yard.
So the thing is, though, about Idiot Doom Spiral here is that he locked himself out of the house and essentially is using that as the reason why his life went to shit, when really he could have just picked himself up and refocused and stopped letting, you know, his bad circumstances continue to spiral out
Just
of
then,
control.
I experienced a moment. But when I anyway,
He pinches his thigh as if to check whether this reality is the reality.
so now you've heard my tragic.
I feel like
tale.
there's some steps missing.
Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me. So they tossed me in jail for 2 days. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen.
I was almost homeless yourself. You got a hell of a story.
Yeah, but what matters is that it's true to my subjective experience.
Truly, he has the soul of an artist.
Why do you guys keep losing all your stuff?
Good fucking question. I used to own my... Now,
You of all people should
Name of your
my
agency. Boom boom
I
room.
convinced my... I was...
sounds. If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
It's extremely my shit.
I know. It was fucking awesome. What?
You really
He was a
shouldn't
startup
touch it.
dude. I'll just admire from afar.
That might be the right idea. This here is one of the last of its kind.
By Primo, it's also known to become extremely itchy if not properly cared for.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosemary. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time.
Or the other drugs.
Hey!
Shut the f.
Awful.
And
Don't
this is
call me
Abs.
Abigail. What's this about a
Tequila.
lost jacket?
Say, you're a detective, right?
Sure, would you lose
If I
it?
knew
That's a lot of
somewhere
places.
north-
Okay.
I'm all ears, Tequila.
Goodbye.
You too.
Alright, what do we level up now? More Inland Empire is always a good idea. Because Inland Empire is a cool fucking stat. That's rad. Street sign is illegible below the graffito. Hard to see the details, the colors, all warm and welcoming, are cozy though. A flower trough where nothing really grows, maybe in spring? Alright, we're gonna get the skua here. We're just gonna talk to this little girl. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. Hello, little miss.
Hello, mister.
A young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She's looking at you with frank curiosity.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Are the twins outside your brothers?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
I guess they do look alike.
Lammy tells them apart.
Where are your parents?
My mom's outside. And I don't really know about my dad.
She gives you a bright smile, like that's a good thing. What's that? Point to the stuffed bird hanging from the ceiling.
It's a grouse.
She yelps, smiling broadly.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skua you broke.
Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure. Just go and get it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
All right. You just need to grab it from the ceiling
What's
and
that?
go.
That's the thing you're holding. Point at her toy.
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like,
She holds up the fuzzy beast to demonstrate.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Oh, okay. Well, pleased to meet you, Lamb.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy. It's Lammy.
Lambie is a stuffed
Lammy
lamb
looks soft.
that
Yes. Very soft.
Suddenly, she pushes the stuffed animal toward your face. Press your cheek against Lammy.
Isn't he soft?
She's right. Lammy is very soft. She rubs the white fur against your cheek, then returns the lamb into her lap, cuddling it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, little miss. Gets me every time. Gets me every time. That softness. That softness. So if you say, I don't deserve to hug Lammy, I'm scum, Kim will whisper to you, hug the damn lamb.
Winter, slow to let go of Revachol. Flecks some more wet snow from above.
Look around you.
The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still, mixing with the rust-colored sewage runoff. And to think, it seemed as though it were already spring.
How does it feel?
The melting snow seeps through your thin clothes. Grandmothers don't let their grandchildren out dressed so lightly in this weather. You look around.
What's to the west?
More winding coastlines lined with abandoned buildings. Crumbling piers, salt water lapping at their dark piles. Grey and red forgotten city blocks. What remains of the pre-revolutionary effort to gentrify the coast.
Beyond that?
The waters turn black. Coal City in the shadow of San Martin. A boom town. Back when coal extracted from countless shafts near the city was needed to power Revachol.
Continue.
No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled. These days, only the weakest remain in Coal City. Their hopes of getting rich linger in the defunct shafts under their feet.
What's there?
Below the old mines, L'Océan Municipal, Revachel's underground cemetery. Le Petit Rat braved the underground passageways, trying to get to Le Royaume. Children under 14, they go underground looking for artifacts to sell to foreign museums, and for fabled relics. Their parents let them. They go deeper.
Deeper.
After rubies, Melchiorite, lapis lazuli, plundered from Safre and Seol during the time of the suzerain. In the burial chambers of the kings, Grand Old Philip, Guillaume II, and even in the mausoleum of Philip the Opulent. 2 kilometers underground, in a winding shaft along whose walls mirrors have been placed, so that daylight may eternally fall upon the richest of all the kings. The mausoleum contains untold quantities of gold, and that special, purest of the pure magenta cocaine, favored by Revacholian royalty. Did someone say untold quantities of cocaine? Drop everything immediately and go looking for this hoard. How can it be pure if it's magenta?
How can it be pure if it's magenta?
Snow falls, and there is no answer. Some things are not for mortals to know.
Wipe the snow from your shoulder.
Few Petit Rat return from the shafts. Even fewer find what they're looking for. A small child steps out of the black tunnel with silver trinkets in her pockets. All around her, white snow on the extinguished coke furnaces and on the weather-worn shacks where fathers beat their sons after drinking. The snow melts on your fingers, turning to water.
It's in the east.
The canal you crossed to get here and beyond it. Martinez proper, the district the police forgot to police. There is laughter, lights, attempts at entrepreneurial activity, cynicism. Someone is scraping snow off their windshield at the roundabout, in the midst of which a statue of Philip III serves as a destination for grade school field trips and a fun perch for winter birds.
That's all?
Like all monuments, it's also a warning. 6-story ruins on the south side of the roundabout cast a long shadow over the profligate king.
And further?
A fenced-off yard. There's a truck belonging to a logistics company parked next to the gate. Bright light from a building behind the fence reflects off its hood. Clean white light coming from the windows of a clean cube-shaped office building hidden amidst ruins. A secret.
What's in the north?
The abandoned church, one of 2 remaining stave churches, which were collectively called Les Sept Sœurs. The other 6 sisters were destroyed during the Revolution.
And further north?
A serpentine strip of land weaving its way into the Martinez Inlet. Unfortunates on the run from the law, from themselves, sometimes hide out on nearby islets. Little dots in the ocean that are occasionally submerged when the tide is high and the weather foul.
And on the islands?
The remains of a camp on a jagged piece of rock, a tent, old dishes and cutlery, long since abandoned. A hermit crab scuttles among the debris, looking for a new shell.
Continue.
Further out, the lights burn bright on Resurrection, way beyond Martinez. A popular spa destination for ample-bodied Ozon kids with equally ample pockets.
And on the other side of the island, inlet. How does Shivers know all this?
Then
Shivers
there's
is
Ozon,
very informed.
but the snow falls too
Shivers
thick.
is the
You
heart of
cannot
the city.
see that far.
Before that, before the curtains are drawn.
The Bay of Revachol, vastness, great depth. over 1,200 meters at its deepest. Water, air brinier than hair. It is crisscrossed by huge cargo ships bearing company logos. Wild Pines, Zam, Morian, and at the farthest reaches of the Bay of Revachol, the shadow of the Coalition warship Archer, on perpetual patrol duty, ready to unleash artillery fire if you were to rise up against the market. You shudder.
What's in the south?
The raised motorway, 881, separating Martinez from Jamrock. Vehicles whoosh past one another day and night, while those who reside in the labyrinthine alleyways beneath the motorway attempt to carry on with their lives in the snow and the slush. And south of the 881 is the Pox.
The Pox.
Was once a park, a place for reflection and recuperation for the patients of the old military hospital. In the 20s, it was used as a quarantine center during a measles outbreak that killed many children. Most everyone has avoided the hospital and surrounding park ever since.
Continue.
The Pox is completely wild now. Evergreen thickets covered in snow and industrial dust. Feral dogs and even wolves roaming in packs. The police try to keep the deepest corners cordoned off.
Still.
Heavy drug users do slip through and hole up in the old military hospital, hoping to find something to get high on among the hastily abandoned supplies, or just to overdose in peace.
Further south.
A line of motor garages with armored carapaces hunched in the cold. A mechanic is hard at work, patching up bullet holes in the side of a Capri 40. These are the garages of Precinct 41. Snow settles on the roof of the repurposed silk mill. It serves as your station. Shivering RCM personnel hurry in and out of the main entrance.
Continue.
Around you, the snow continues to fall. To the west, the ocean swells.
It was home. I want more.
The stairs descend to central Jamrock. A man named Cooklove has a snow-covered stall there in the market across the bridge. He sells kebab infested with fly larvae to your colleagues who believe eating it will make them immune to food poisoning.
That's fucked up. Shiver's monologues are great. However, my coworkers are idiots.
Snow falls on the utility district, the library, the florist, the Sarah Mauritian restaurant that offers homemade wine, and also on the brothels and drug dens, and the chop shops of the Zemlyaki. All of this built around a lake that formed in a meteorite strike. At the center of this lake, there is a little ship. There are lights at the bottom of its hull. They are lights directed toward the seafloor, looking for something, like whiskers.
For what?
A chill comes over you, crawling down your back. The sand under your feet is wet. Somewhere in the south, tarpauling flat in the wind.
What's above me?
More Coalition aerostatics. Occasionally, lights flash as they maneuver through the falling snow. One large airship carries crates in its belly.
What's below me?
Layer upon layer of sand, poisoned with industrial runoff. The storm drainage, hidden bunkers. Rats scuttle.
Tell me a secret of the Sands Wind.
Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into a concrete pipe under the boardwalk. It would keep you warm. You would probably never happen across it. But who knows?
Who knows? Stomp your feet for warmth, brushing off the snow. Finish the thought.
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up?
Okay, Kim. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. Relax, it's not yours. You didn't crash every MC in Revachol. Hopefully. Hopefully. An unsuccessful model. Take the money. The beams are splintered. The bridge can collapse on its own. Artillery broken. No boat in the boathouse today. This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. Magnesium and oversized superstar sunglasses. Take. There we go. Tiny cages carefully constructed. The soggy logs smell of ignition fluid and they still light up. Talk to the
Hello,
racist.
I'm Gary. How do you do, officer?
Hello, Gary the crypto fascist.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
What?
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates, this man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
I am by the books, clean as a whistle officer of the law. I am not even tempted to touch intoxicants.
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong for Revacol.
His gaze shifts to the pile of soggy logs at his feet. Yeah, dude, this man is a racist, Carlos. This man is a huge racist.
He pronounces Revacol with a hard K, unlike other people. Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Is this your mug? Hold up the yellow man mug.
My mug? Why would you think that?
His eyes widen at the sight of the mug. He's seen it before,
You said
right?
yellow man. That's not something many people go around saying. It seemed you were calling to it longingly when you cried yellow man.
Oh, no, that's not... Why would I be calling to a broken mug?
Just admit it, man. You put the mug in the trash container behind the whirling.
Maybe. Okay. Yes, I did. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to fine me, are you?
I am, for 100 real.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again. You have my word. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately. The Koikos are price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
How'd you get in the trash container, Gary?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez,
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash, Gary?
so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was murdered, hung behind the whirling rags into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
And then what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changed his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant remarks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before.
What's that strange sound?
Where?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved. Don't mess with me, you know what I'm talking about.
I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles. The smell of decay. The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing. There's something going on here. You should observe it more closely after this topic is concluded.
Let's move on, for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
He's visibly relieved it's over.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary.
I got
This
you,
guy comes
fucker!
into your apartment, admiring your mug collection.
Why is he
Perhaps a
shifting
little
around like that?
intimidation.
So, Gary, you live nearby? In an apartment in Martinique?
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
You're a big man from Heimdall fan.
How?
You know, I saw the poster in your apartment. You know, I'm a big Heimdallarin fan myself. Saw that ridiculous poster in your apartment along with all your other colonist memorabilia.
But why were you in my apartment, officer?
I was just doing Mr. Clare a small favor.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him.
Columbo moments.
What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
The man looks around, whispering, as he makes sure no one hears you talk.
As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back.
Really, I don't even know what it was about. I just opened the door.
Whatever it is, tell him I'm silent as the grave. I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night about some theories.
This man does sound like a weasel.
I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
Thanks, Kim.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
You know, you would seem surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next racist will be a really good one?
Yes.
Well, this is that racist.
Will you grant us 3 wishes, Gary?
Hey, man, all I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact.
You know, the lieutenant is a native of Revachol. Do you have a problem, Saolites?
No problem at all.
He flashes an impenetrable smile at the lieutenant.
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here. If you can remember it.
I don't care.
Return without the lieutenant. For this, your balance organ thinks it's a waste of time.
I agree with my balance organ.
Your gut feeling tells you it would be interesting.
Do you know anything about the man behind... You know what? I don't need to waste any more time with him. Break him.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together. as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Something worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear, Gary.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He unbuttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Thanks, drama.
This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Give me that armor now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Insane! Why did you really put those clothes in the trash? Why'd you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
You poor little bootlicker. Do you know who killed the hanged man?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
This is all he knows.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Thanks for your cooperation, Gary. Bitch! Alright, time to do the side quest for morale.
Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this gem.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Must be immortal.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Trying to use these lobster traps for the phasmid in question is really funny because it's fucking huge.
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
No, seeing so happy to see the RCM. Lena sent me. She's really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Yeah, the water lock's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back.
Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Thumbs up. Nothing to see here.
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. Gary. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
This is a man possessed, always on the brink of some breakthrough. He won't leave if there's a sliver of hope. The great find might happen today.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
My wife!
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work. For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Knee-deep in the dead. What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Yes.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our present case.
Isn't this thing's special, like, defensive measures insane? It uses psionic bug powers to remain in hiding.
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolve, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid. A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
So the reason why I'm focusing on this is because I really, really, really want to ensure, like, after the course of this game, that this place becomes like a preserve, because the insulating phasmid is like really awesome. Psychoactive, volatile chemicals. Shit's weird. Ghost insects, so you're ghost hunters.
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists, looking for an extant species of phasmid.
Oh, how big is the phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
This one said, what if I was huge?
Seems puny, to be honest.
Why are you so interested in the stick bug? Doesn't seem to be as colorful as the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
The chemicals impacted its brain, and it said, but what if I was big, though?
Would be glory itself.
What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
No proof.
I know it's real.
Okay.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
It's love.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
What would it be like to grasp and hold onto something you think is next to you, or just behind you, like a trace of vapor you exhaled one spring morning as a child?
Lena said
This
there's
is what he's searching for.
a sighting of it
A spectre.
here in Montenay.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the insulin phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
It says, fuck it. I'll make my own. It's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Iddy, I point at the insulating phasmid. Does this look like a creature that's having a hard time adapting?
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the traps to work?
Yes.
More than some.
It's kind of a freak.
This adapter.
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out.
The phasmid is probably going like, oh shit, someone left snack bags here.
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Carnivorous stick insect? Seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
It is literally like the free Doritos.
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
Let me ask you something else.
Yes. What?
Lena seemed, how'd you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
So you're living your childhood dream out here?
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Have you ever discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
How many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
So only 2 have been proven to be real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
Then the Insulinian Phasmid will be the third.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushan too. It will be a zoological miracle.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing. He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Thanks for explaining that. Now something else.
Yes?
Sorry about specific cryptids.
All right.
We would have to discuss. You need to ask him about specific cryptids.
Tell me about a cool cryptid.
No offense, officer. But me?
This is a gruff man.
By all means.
Do you know
Hell
Gary was
no.
hiding
Thanks.
armor?
He's
Yep.
still glad his friend...
Alright, we'll get going.
Hello.
He seems pretty
I'm
eager for you
eager
to return
my
home.
wife.
Would you check the traps?
Won't let me lay them down. Sounds
I didn't
like
know
the
the Phasmid was so important,
cryptozoologist.
Alina.
Of course it's him.
She's
Yep.
seen it.
She cited it? Yeah.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mistake.
Totally will ask her
Suffice
about
to
that
say,
mysterious one.
It's long been our dream to find
Maybe we
proof
could go back
of
to the whirling,
Insulindian
warm up, and
Phasmid
come back to check
together.
the traps later?
No, no, no. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
It's not gonna happen.
He's dead set on this.
Alright, we'll check the
could-
traps.
It's truly not that special. Yes.
We'll check the traps for
I didn't
you.
expect you to take
Cryptozoology
such an
work
interest
is
in
very
our work.
similar.
Yes, indeed.
Where are these
There are
traps?
4 another, the third. You should.
That seems like a lot. Do we
Pursuit
really
of knowledge
have
is his own
time? Is it?
justification.
If you think it's important.
What do I do with Phasmids in one
Bring
of
it to
them?
me at once.
He's not comfortable
And
with
what if I encounter the
That's highly
Phasmid?
unlikely, officer. But in the event
I'll
it's made
spray
of
with the
muscle
pheromone.
research.
Lay it on me thick!
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this.
It is precious.
Let's go.
Right.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
Bye-bye. Alright, we're prepping for magical bug. Take the money. Military blockades, or roll the bullet holes. We'll go over here. Could this be the buoy that Klasia told you about? Like everyone was 10k and you still pick up change. It's very important.
There's a trap in the
Look
reeds
around.
at your feet. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidently. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows.
Reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down. 3 to go.
Damn, I was hoping it would be the first one.
No, you weren't.
Okay, I guess I wasn't. Shall I constructed a strong breeze to float over. Ancient paint is peeling off of this shaded bench. Old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. Let's take a look at this. Want to pay people to park here? No, we'll pay now.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Why this many bullet holes?
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement. 10 meters away, Other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles prime. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Look at the people against the wall.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them. Comrades, the forsaken, the wretched, who tried to rise against the horrors of the world.
Look at the line of soldiers.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Men of duty, dark duty.
Who were they?
Murderers, twisted by orders, young boys forced into killing.
Look at the people standing on the side.
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Kim, who was in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. It could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast, as their building was taken over by the revolutionaries.
Or maybe...
What about the people from the coalition, the so-called moralists?
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
Goodbye.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
I found a hat! Logic goes up, I got a Pippo hat. Now I'm just missing the pants, and I'll be full flan. Sorry, the full Hippo's room. Sorry, I'm just missing the jacket now, and then I'll have the full set. Audio's being funky. Another power box, it charges nothing now, it's empty. Fence blocks it. Oh, hold up, I have something for this. Nice. Got the nose of Fid. Bars cover this long, dusty window. Buzz, hum, electricity flows through wires with audible power. And here's the very bad jacket.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
take a closer look.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
I think it's the jacket that Idiot Doom Spiral guy wanted me to find.
I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned.
Grab filthy jacket. Time to loot. Loot here. Look there. Put this on. Take this postcard of Karun. Point operated weighing machine hasn't been used in decades. Take these crazy wacky prescription lenses. Water drips from the tarp. There's something over here though I gotta look at.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Hold on, that is awful.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it. Keep it in now. Don't overreact.
What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be.
Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right.
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
Floorboards look rotten and weak. It's been out of order for years. Sometimes when the colon viewer hold on to something, the wind is so strong.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is, he's been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself.
It'll be significantly easier this time.
Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body.
Stay the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom-made. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue?
No.
Oh no. This sounds terribly
Search
familiar.
pockets.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Stay the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here.
Same in his face.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. overcome with the awful surprise of it all. He was just about to head home. The first step back home proved to be his last. That's what the chewing gum seems to point to as well.
Study the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here.
Same in the man's head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him. This is where he came out of himself, drop by drop, when he was unconscious. It took 3, maybe 4 minutes.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
Just the one on the back of his head.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Step on the floorboards.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him.
Same in the bottle.
A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
It would have been better if he fell through the whole damn thing instead of hitting his head. The shock would have probably made him go, oh fuck, I gotta go to land.
It's mid-market spirits, with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
I say it would, because he would have had much more of a chance to survive, as opposed to him slipping on through. The water is freezing. It is very cold. I do think, though, that there was a chance of the man to get sobered up and say, I gotta get to shore right now, and swim to safety.
Tear all around us.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover.
Because this
The
idiot
man's mouth is half
is
agape
the man
from
took
the
a
terror
step
of the
forward,
fall.
and then the board broke, and he hit his head. And then he went unconscious from the head wound, or from the hit on the head, and then his head wound bled him out.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
It wouldn't have been a high chance, but it would have been better than this.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
In a ditch off a road below the 881, he thinks. A young father. Then he shakes his head to make the memory stop. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south the way you came.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
I know who he is.
A dead working class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is.
We know who this is. It's the working class woman's missing husband, dead on the boardwalk.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
Because it's the most working class death you've ever seen.
This is the most working class way to go. Completely alienated and forgotten. The leather jacket matches her description perfectly.
The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband.
What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Someone should be responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk.
They'll probably take it down.
Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
Right.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
What should we do with him?
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, Or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
We found him. We should finish this.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case.
Leave. There's somewhere closer. Let's see.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member.
Look at the backside.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55 211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business.
Good.
Oh, sorry.
We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Good idea. There was plenty of information here to go by.
I'll take care of that in the morning.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
Put it away. A big wine canister. It's open and empty. The church. Dead phone, smash receiver like someone hung up too hard. So retarded to smash the plastic dome.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Pick up the handset.
You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
I'll dial a random number.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
The voice is female and sounds about 100 years old.
Say you're not Pierre. That seems like a better idea. You don't know why.
No, this is not Pierre.
Do you have any news about Pierre?
Who is Pierre?
He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country.
Owen moans and the phone line howls in unison with her. No, I'm a police officer.
To hell with the police. To hell with you.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.
Random number.
Calling. Still calling. Again? Seriously? Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity. No, what you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
Is electricity there? I need to speak with electricity, please.
No, but I got a feeling Al Kick Your Ass is gonna make an appearance if you ever call this number again. Have a good one, asshole.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone.
Another random number.
Calling. 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 Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man.
Someone picks up. The voice on the other side is slightly hysterical.
I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work.
You seem to be in some kind of trouble. Maybe I can help you. I'm a police officer.
The phone gets hanged up fast as lightning. All you hear is a little shuffle of nylon as the hand moves on the other end. Disconnect tone.
All the other options, I was like, I'm setting that guy up for failure. You know the lieutenant's ready to move now? Another one.
Calling.
I'm tired.
A man answers fast this time. His voice is hoarse from cigarettes. You hear typing in the background.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
I'm tired too.
If I could go just 1 month without writing, no, 2 months, I could regenerate my brain. Fucking liberalism.
The man disappears with a sigh.
Fucking
You
liberalism!
do not hear the customary disconnect tone, just silence in the handset. The machine is still waiting for you to dial a number. Seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. This sometimes happens. Lucky you, the call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying.
Very high. White morning, smells like betrayal. Sorry, cop.
You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial, then pull down on the number, then move one up, and repeat the motion twice. Strange. This is not how you started before.
Keep dialing.
414447. The rotary dial feels cold from the sea air.
Keep dialing.
1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling.
There's more?
Yes. 451-67451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place, far away from this island of matter and its telecommunication networks.
Finish it.
451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion, far away. A distant network of phones. Calling. Calling in the night.
Calling.
The saddest sound in the world. Both pitiful and terrifying. You feel your pulse rising with each ring. Calling still. Ringing by the bedside of a dark but capacious apartment with long windows. You know this to be true. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy.
Long windows. How do I know that?
You just do. And you know it is going to hurt.
Hang up.
That's right. You can. Whatever you're doing here, you can just stop it and go on with your life.
I could hang up right now. I could move on with my life. I hang up.
The headset lands in the cradle with a clank. There it sits, still warm from your hand. You have no idea what just happened. Who cares? Run. Go. Don't think about this. Do police work. It's all there is.
Congratulations, Harry. You can imagine why Carlos becomes terrible sometimes. You avoided self-harm! Would that have insta-killed you? No, but it would have absolutely destroyed my health, which is why that I healed up before I did that. There's a kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. Feel the shadow of a very large building fall upon you. Dusty pews and shadows, many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in dark, something like that. It's too hard to tell. Alright, so my idea of beating this before I go to SMT3, probably not going to happen. I'm going to get my gun at least. I'm going to finish this day. But then I plan to, chain trails off in the ocean to who knows where.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The whip, you rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
The door's shut tight. How can we get in there?
We don't get in there.
Come on, we even got into the light bending guy's container, but you're saying we can't get in here?
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everard knew that's a part of our MO.
Okay, I can live with this.
What else is there to do? Not accepting isn't gonna bring the fire brigade in.
So, let me tell you something.
There's no one in there. If we can't open it, neither can anyone else.
Straight up, that door, you will always fail. Always, always, always. Unless they changed it in this expansion.
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody?
Me?
Exactly.
Why am I like a seagull?
Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise. Then their paradise became shit city. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons. No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters.
Have I ever eaten a burger out of the trash?
You have. The body remembers.
But I'm not like that. I'm still romantic.
Sure, inside. But outside, it's a tough world. You've got to do whatever it takes to survive. And you do. Question is, will you admit that to yourself?
Oh, okay, let me reconsider.
Good boy.
I'm a fucking seagull!
Own it. Steal hot dogs. Shit in the sand. Whatever it takes to keep going.
Woo!
A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds.
Thanks, Endurance.
Another one of
Even if you're a fascist,
weighed down by
you have
stones
some good
to keep it in
ideas.
place.
Look around.
The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the Cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
Reach for the trap.
This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap.
Let's keep going. The next one is the lucky one.
Yep. The next one has a crab trapped in it. These are just crab traps, you do realize?
I have no time for your doubts, Kim. We are not doubters here. We are believers! Cigarette butts cleaned away under a rock. Tree motiri seems important somehow. Someone made a campfire here long ago. A rusted, broken control box for a radio relay tower. Slider's too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. Ooh, there's something here. A scented scarf. Tiny inlets where posts trail towards. Alright, we're not gonna mess with the church yet. We'll take that on day 4. We'll handle the whole church on day 4. We'll tie up our loose ends, you could say. White polo, lol. Okay, white man. Oh, whatever you say, white boy. Oh. Full of holes. Could the posts hide treasures? Look inside. Yes. The treasure is that they all store money. In booze? Eh? These posts are full of riches. For you, a drawbridge, it can only be lowered from the other side. School fish huddle around the lamppost. Alright, I'll walk around. To your right, white-bellied cormorant eyes you suspiciously. Ice is thick here, thick enough to walk on. It's taken a lot of patience to do this. Yellow moss on these stones, they probably stole it from someone's garden. Paintless pastels, someone's trying to bring cheer to the world. Trash from some unending party, poles screwed into the ice, keeps the pole erect. More tribalistic markings, this post is covered with
A pane of Etonite, barely holding it up.
Push it over!
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Thunk.
We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on.
We'll do that later, Kim. For now, though, we have some business to take care of. Well... Alright, first things first, we're gonna finish looking at all the traps. We're gonna go to Moral. Water runs from the west, source upstream with broken pipe. I'm gonna bring this jacket over to this goon over here. The idiot doom spiral. And I'm gonna have the washroom and wash it.
Tequila.
Find your jacket. Here's the jacket.
Let me see. What? This isn't my jacket. My jacket was beautiful. This is fucking filthy. What am I supposed to do with this?
Outside for a week, dude.
I'm not taking a disgusting pile of hobo rags. I may be in an irrecoverably decaying orbit, but I've still got standards. Either bring it back the way it was before, or find a dumpster to burn it in.
You know, despite the guano, it looks like the jacket itself is stain resistant. It may just need a good scrubbing.
Bye! Talk to the kids real fast.
The scruffy head, the
Hey,
kids.
was your mom?
Yes.
Was your sister? Yes.
It doesn't look like him. The
You guys are
stone.
identical.
The boy doesn't. The rock kicker was just being.
You're bad with kids.
I am, yes.
Don't worry, everyone is. How about we do some police work now?
Okay, bye-bye, kids. Bye-bye. Washroom, wash this jacket, please.
Our tenant, I
Wash this
can wash
jacket.
it for you.
I can see here that long. Hell yeah.
No,
I could use a breather.
Oh, wait.
Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do.
Here's the thing, though. Thanks to my time powers,
Must say,
it's not gonna happen.
I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you take better care of it than its last owner.
Goodbye, I'm off. Alright, we got clothes. We got clothes. We got hose. Alright, where are you? There's the jacket. A little subtraction to drama, but, Oh, you so funky. He's so hip. Where's the hat? Yeah. Oh yeah. Rocking it flan style. Flan style. Do I have anything else I can wear? Yeah, this is pretty good actually. Ruined area. Okay. Clean creeks. Planks creak beneath your weight. The ladder leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp. Talk to this lady. Hello, ma'am.
Factory balanced. Bakelite and stainless steel.
Anything I can help you with?
First things first, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. What are the other ones?
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Sword have it come store?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Oh, her earrings are fish hooks.
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Why don't more women arm themselves? It's so effective.
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
She is so cool.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her. Show her the wonder. Coach means the expression.
Behold! Her eyes meet yours, and suddenly she starts laughing its hoarse, as if she hasn't laughed in a while.
Not bad.
Do you like it?
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes,
Where are all the men now?
fading fast.
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed.
Wait, if they're...
And one of them,
if they're thick-headed...
I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
God.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
Gone.
The harbour seawall endures the wash of the freezing waves. Many things wash up against it and onto the beaches of Rivershop.
You know,
some inanimate.
This right
some
here
just no longer alive.
is kind of true because
shudder.
It's his wife who left him. He disappeared. Sounds like a missing persons case.
It absolutely does not. We are not going to look for him.
No. There's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves.
Oh.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. A bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
It's healthy to let go and move on. Gotta keep the wheels spinning.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Absolutely not. Is that your boat?
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Sunny days. Put your hand in the rain.
Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the rain streaming down the yellow belly of the boat.
When do you think it'll be ready? There's something we want to check out on one of the islands, the origin of the shot.
Shot, huh? The boat will be ready when the sea turns and the winds settle. You can't command the weather, officer.
Damn the weather!
Waves wash.
Damn the sea!
A skiff moves across the mirror-smooth sea, far away from here.
See, you recommend that, but like...
fast sloop in the distance. White sails. My prediction...
I want to get through the rest of this day.
At least 2 days.
Be seeing you. At least 2 days' time. Alright, let's check on the final trap. So, yeah, like, you can go on a successful date with her. You can have a nice time, but nothing comes out of it. But she'll give you her sword. So you'll have her sword. It really isn't useful for anything except for the final confrontation.
Once you know what to look for. Keeping the reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Some tufts have been crushed. The broken stalks seem like a rebuke.
Yeah, maybe later.
The sound of the city hums in the east. The constant, distant song.
Reach for the tree.
Louder on this part. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done.
Bummer it wasn't in there.
I'm just glad we haven't found some poor cat trapped in one of these.
Fuck, where's the last one? I don't remember. It's been too fucking long. It's been way too goddamn long! Is there one over here? Yeah, it's been like months. It's been months and months and months. I think maybe it's over here, actually. To the left. A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirp. Or maybe it's here. Oh wait, no, it's the trap that Moro was setting up. I remember. Chirp, chirp. Scott remembers the 26th night of September.
This is the last of the traps. The one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality.
Look around.
The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake in the lazily falling rain. It's good the cryptozoologists left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after night. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand.
Reach for the trap.
The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. No locust.
No locust?
No phasmid either. But still.
It's empty. Mortal didn't leave it empty.
Your voice echoes on the coast, carried by a gust of cold wind.
Closer still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked the trap up and shook it before dropping it.
The Phasmin straight up said, "Snacks!" and then gobbled them up before scooting away. Actually, I do get the feeling that someone or something may have messed with the trap.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case.
But what if it was the
which I'm
Phasmin? What if they ate them and got out?
Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We are not cryptozoologists. We are cops.
Damn you. Damn you! Damn you to hell, Kim! Damn you and your sweet, sweet smile. Curses. Curses! This is the most gym teacher looking hair yet. Let's take a closer look at this man real fast. God, yeah. With the mirrored sunglasses really just add a lot to the look. I forgot something. Alright, here's the plan. I stop manipulating time, first of all. Second of all, I go into the house, I grab the skua. I grabbed the grouse, not the skua. I did not grab it. See, the prompt was, you just need to grab it. Like a goon, I did not grab it. I forgot. Double checking something. Pigs. I gotta go to the fish market at 2200. Yeah, at least I remembered. Taking this off. Silly Goomba. Silly Goomba. They're still playing in this fucking weather? Jesus.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and
pick up
the
the
soft...
radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Need to report a dead body on the Martinez Sport Dock.
One moment. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
Identified middle-aged man. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
Nope. Seems like an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trouser, an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. We found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Moujon.
Good. You have a lead.
I do.
Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue.
Thanks, Alice.
That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in.
Bye-bye.
57, over and out.
In the cabin, you
Alright, let's go talk to Moral. Let him know that the last trap was missing the locusts. Now we're gonna present the skua to Geralt.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now.
I knew it.
You hear Kim say quietly to himself.
I'm not surprised. It's already getting out of hand.
Well, in that case, sweetie, let me give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie.
I'll take the case.
Origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
It's fucking cool.
You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You told me you never seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ah, but I do.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
Measuring things is important. How did she get the size?
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
That is a way bigger compliment than it sounds like. Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember.
Where was
when
this?
all of a sudden...
How old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5 and a half in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood. Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Oh, then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys, that sort of thing. Of course, Most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
The reeds hissing.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
I would have like a flashback to all the time that it said the reeds were hissing reeds, and I would piece it together.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
You were on a date?
Our first, yes.
Aw.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
Slims are white?
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it? Bug romance is real.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Lena was wrong.
What if it is the case?
It is totally the case. Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own.
I'd like to hear more about more cryptids.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about?
Is this bird a cryptid?
No. It's the cryptid.
Wow, the cryptid?
Oh, yes.
The small silvery skull shines between your fingers, its beak sharp.
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until
it was sighted by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
I need to hear about this side.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
And that is?
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. An ancient riverbed completely dried up.
What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
Eat the bird. Uwe. It's the only way to survive.
He was following it?
Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalt followed the Teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist.
Watch out.
Then, the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird. The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back. Every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
An 8-eyed mind-controlling bird. Fuck yes!
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
Woo!
Here's one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
So when was the last anyone saw of it?
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports
No, that was the last
of
anyone saw
bird
of it.
skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
Alright, the rest of this I'm gonna skip.
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
Alright, we can move on now. It'd be dishonorable to renege on the promise.
I'm glad you see it that way.
That's all for now, man. Thank you.
Honorable one, you have accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous.
Ooh, there were honor points?
Of course there were honor points. Did you think no one was paying attention to all of your honorable deeds, Honorable One?
I only try my best. It's the best. That's the most any of us can do.
Oh, the modesty on this one. Another 10 honor points for you, sir. You are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers, an honor cop.
My honor is my life.
Yes, your deeds have spoken for you, Honorable One. But to fully drape oneself in an eternal cloak of honor, a ritual must be completed. A rite of honor. Even among the honorable, only the most dignified are deemed worthy. But you, O Honorable One, have excelled in honor. Honor comes from deep within you, and to truly know oneself, to know one's honor, one must reach deep within oneself and touch one's honor. You need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form the Arch of Honors.
Authority. I know this is a joke, but you're crazy if you think I'm gonna stick a finger in my ass. No way.
Most dishonorable are those who have known honor, carried honor in their hearts, and then disowned honor. They are the honor fallen.
Well, I'll keep that
You
in mind.
brought much shame on your family today. Your name will forever be tarnished by this most shameful of deeds. Be forever banished, shameful one.
Why don't you go shove your own hand up your own ass, Authority? You goon.
can I help you?
Gart, I found a bird.
What is this thing?
I wanted to apologize for breaking the great school by bringing this ruffed grouse.
Okay. Okay, well, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem. This was mostly about the fucking cardio. Massive cardio here. You'll live till 90, or you get a heart attack from running.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Bastion of what you are. Who's this guy?
Very generous of
Oh,
you
it's
to
Gary.
help us out, officer. I'm sure glad to be back from that little excursion.
I didn't recognize him.
I mean, officers.
I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. Is there a way for me to do karaoke? This feels right, you belong here. Alright.
Hey, was there something you need?
Well, well.
There's another thing.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Clausy in room 3, should nick the phone line.
He really doesn't like it being classier.
You have Lena? Lena's a good customer.
Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she?
What? Did someone mention my name?
We were just paying you a compliment. And finding out a degenerate from room 3 nicked the phone line. Everything is okay here. Good thing that guest pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it.
Something else I want to talk about.
Another thing. Great. Yes?
Why is it letting me do the... Hold up, karaoke. Alright, I'm pretty sure I have the tape. Alright. Tape in. Interact.
The portal reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnet. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
Press your ear against the speaker.
It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know, this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to that Clausia told you about. Perform it. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops.
Could I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing this.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this.
I love this part of the
And
game
you already know the
so
lyrics
much.
since you've listened to it like a million times. Yep, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one
Trying to bring
obstacle
down the
stands
vibe,
on your way.
baby. Nothing can stop me now.
Gart, you have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand.
It was such a big audience, too.
The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the boombox. He doesn't say anything.
Alright. I need to get everything prepared, though. Okay? I need to get everything prepared. Yes, quite. Alright. Max drama. I'm gonna try to, at least. Max drama close. Let's see what we got here for drama. God, this tie is the best, one of the best ties in the game. Better than the horrific necktie, but I'm wearing the horrific necktie till the end for a reason. I'm gonna put on my classic shoes and my classic pants. The insane mesh top underneath my patrol jacket. Oh yeah, looking classy there, Harry. Actually, I'm gonna wear the disco-ass blazer. Perfect. And what else do I got here? Oh yeah. Bow tie. Yep. Perfect. Looking classy there, Harry. Looking classy. Yep. That's some, you know what? Hold up. I gotta take off these gloves. There we go. I gotta speak to the mic with all of my heart. Alright.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Gart, I need to sing karaoke now.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
It's happening, Gart. You can't stop me.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man.
Gart, it has to happen.
You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
Why do you have the PA system if no one's gonna use it?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
It's not a prop. It's for your clients. I know it's used.
Okay, yes. It's for some clients.
I'm a real client, Gart. I paid my bills. I have the right to use the karaoke machine.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
Stolen, you fucking liar.
He's lying. But whatever, you don't really need his lame tracks.
It's alright. I have my own song with me.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard. This is the look of a man who's defeated. He knows he's out of excuses.
Fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself.
Like a liar?
Oh yeah. Time to do the damage.
Okay. Here we go. Remove this from my hands. Alright, we're prepped. We're ready to roll. It's time.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Look, Cam, I'm gonna sing karaoke.
I can see that.
Look around the room first.
The bar is full and buzzing with chatter. No one is paying you any attention. But still you feel your knees turn to noodles. Okay, now a couple is looking at you. Even worse. You're sweating. They are going to hate you. Just make sure you move, okay? Don't be stiff.
Here we go.
The air is
yeah.
thick with anticipation.
One of the best parts of the game right here.
Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-San, though it once was larger, how the realm may rest there. Down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Woo! Thanks, ancient reptilian brain.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
I'd like to dedicate this song to the pale nothing that will devour this world.
The microphone amplifies your voice in an uncomfortable manner. Someone coughs. Most people have gone back to talking now.
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the microphone now.
Last words?
Thank you, Martinez! Nice. Where are my pants? Oh yeah. Where are the shades? Oh yeah, that's the stuff. And of course, my horrible necktie. Where are you at? Thank you. Alright, we are good. Wait, hold up. There's a shirt that I need to put on. There we go. We did it. Okay. Next step. It's the ancient reptilian brain voice. It's very good. All right. Yep, that is definitely the implication. Alright, we gotta go deal with the pigs. At least we're warm. We're gonna deal with the pigs, and then we're gonna sleep. And then I'm gonna focus on SMT3. Not tonight, though. Tonight I'm a little tired. My plan is to at least get one of the endings of SMT3 before I gotta go out to sea. Yeah, it's true. I'm a little sleepy. I'm a little tired. Valid to be tired and a little sleepy. I've been, I had a little red wine to go with my dinner, which was a delicious pasta and meat sauce that I made. I decided not to use the usual 4-cheese marinara sauce, as I instead... I think I gotta go into a building, because it doesn't seem like she's out. I hear her, but I don't see her.
The remaining windows rattle from a
Can you see inside?
I had a
This partner of his,
Okay, sounds good. I'm not gonna have Kim shoot through it. That'd be silly. Let me find a building to walk into real fast. Refresh the area. Doors closed for the day. Time to put the kids to sleep. Well, I can't argue with that. Old woman is still out, though. Jesus Christ.
It's getting cold.
Not yet. God damn it. Alright, I gotta figure out a way to refresh the area. Let me... Alright, we're gonna go over there. Gonna reload the area, basically. Yeah, it would be rad to show you before I end up playing SMT5. I would like, man, that would be nice. I would like to deal with it. At least show you all a little bit of SMT5 before I go out to the sea again, but we'll see if that's in the cards. Oh. What's lucky for me is that I'll have the ability to cheat my heart off to ensure that time is optimally used. You must meet her at the old fish market at 2200. Maybe I'll need to rewind time a little bit. No, I swear I've dealt with her before, like... Nope, there she is.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
Easy, ma'am. Take it easy.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous.
I'm not moving.
Suspect is on the loose. Suspect at large. Officer, administer street justice at our own peril. That one extra liquid of baton or extra knee strike above was what was actually required. Suspect is under control. Suspect is under control.
In her mind, you're under control now. The next moment, you're not. It appears the things she says are very real to her. as long as she's sane.
Legendary success.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
The situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing. You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do. This is dangerous. You're 70% certain you always leave your gun loaded.
Please identify yourself, ma'am.
It's the goddamn police shitbag. On the pavement. You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs? Magnesium, Duramine, maybe even speed. My God, she has speed on her. What else?
We can, are you on drugs?
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised.
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Can we solve this peacefully? Let's just go for it.
Alright,
Woo!
here's the plan. You hurl the ledger in her face, already darting right, and immediately close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel, right one breaks the wrist. Oh my God, yes! No, that won't be necessary. Look closer. The gun, all 3 barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded.
Oh my God, it's not loaded. Kim, I'm certain there's no bullets in that gun.
Huh? My God, I think you're right.
Oh my God, it's not loaded. The gun isn't loaded. Ma'am, the weapon you're holding is mine, and I know it has no bullets.
What?
She looks at the weapon in disbelief, her eyes suddenly reddish with tears. She looks straight down the barrel and squeezes the trigger. Wait.
This isn't police issue.
Click!
Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. What is this? Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
Oh.
She looks devastated.
No bullets in gun.
Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
Pick up your gun.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
Great gears are grinding to a halt. The machine is powering down. She's all out of jolt.
Oh, well. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Mental?
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
I'm very sorry this is how your life turned out for you.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
What do you think is happening to her?
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this.
Why was she like this in the first place?
Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8. And loneliness.
Neurodegenerative disease.
Could be. Her hands were trembling and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her?
Should we arrest her?
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without a gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
Yeah, Titus sounds like the man for the job.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, cause it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
She mutters. Seems like a reflex, half-remembered sentence.
Reflex to what? Being left alone?
No.
Exactly. With only the voice of Gareth Morand to accompany her on Channel 8. She must have built a new, sadly better, reality from the only material available. Radio waves and cop shows. She stands motionless. Just a heap of clothes and fleshes now. Maybe if you search her once more. The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there, too. You're thinking of taking them.
I'll take the cap.
She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap
Oh, is that my cap?
a mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours.
Mine? No. It's ours. The RCM's.
It's your hat.
Lieutenant nods. Leave her be. Well, obviously I gotta change out my actual outfit. That's a looker right there, I tells you what. Any other sneakers I could wear? I think the boots are fine. Let's go find Titus. Get her tucked away and then we'll turn in. Are shaping up? That's right. Darn hootin'. Of course, I'm gonna end the game in full flan gear, because that's the type of man that I am. Jean's gonna be like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, you know, I'm returning to my roots." Gym teacher. Let's fucking go! Honestly, you don't have much left in the game. After today, it's basically just wrapping up a few loose ends and then heading over to the island. Alright, I have to walk out real fast. Using my ability to warp time! I have now used my ability to warp time. Now Titus and the boys are back. Amazing how my skills work like that.
It's you again. What is it?
Hey, Titus. There's an old catatonic woman in the old fish market on the other side of the bay. She needs help.
What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
Yes, correct.
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it?
It's her.
God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kurong or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everett's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Big.
Whatever you do, do not admit to these punks you lost your gun.
Nope,
You
shouldn't
will
have
suffer if you do.
anything of mine.
No? Well, whatever then, Copper.
Chugs down his beer and wipes his mouth.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it? Anyone remember?
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk. Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with?
What's her name? Her real name?
Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Marianne LaPlante.
Be anything else you wanted to know?
Who was she?
Was, like before, just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
How'd she get like this?
Wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig?
Law enforcement is a respectable occupation, sir.
Respectable professions don't shoot kids, Cerdo. They don't beat confessions out of prisoners.
Easy there, Al. Sit down. We got one of our own to take care of.
You guys do that
let's
too,
not
though.
Get worked up.
Where'd she get all the cop gear?
Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
Station 41. A man carries a crate of rusted, unused badges. You think these would net us something at the annual auction? A balding detective drags a comb futilely across his head. Shit, who'd want those? Just dump them into the river.
Sweating. Thanks for helping us with this one, Titus.
No problem, old cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough. We're the real heroes on these streets.
Yeah, sure. Talk to Claudia. Now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
Because I'm gonna level with you. She's the next link in the chain that leads me to the killer.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Throws a glance at Titus. The last syllable leaves his lips. The big guy sighs.
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back.
Saw the winch outside, reconstructed a murder scene, found antique rifle. Claudia gave Mulligan. Ruby is a drug dealer established. Present a solid theory.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought. A massive activity spike in the amygdala copicum, the part cops use to pin murders on people.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
Continue.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go to the bar for a drink?
No.
That's a lie.
You know that's not the case.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cobb.
That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
You do agree that the shot came from the roof, right? Ruby could have gotten to the roof from somewhere inside the whirling.
Nah, the only way up there is through Clausia's room.
Maybe there's more.
What do you mean?
How much do you guys know about this place?
We've only been drinking here for what? 6 years? How much do we know?
Been thinking of getting wilding in rats. That is on my ass, boss.
There you go. Tatted on his ass. We know the place.
There's a locked door in the kitchen and another on the roof. You ever been through those?
No, but that doesn't prove anything.
It's just 2 dolls. We're not giving you Ruby for that. She's one of us.
What if those 2 doors are connected, Eugene? Is that your name, Eugene? If they are connected, she could have gone to the kitchen, gone up, shot him on the roof, then come down. All in 5 minutes. How about that?
Yes, she could have. This is one long shot.
Have we firmly established that Ruby could have gotten access to the roof from where the man was shot?
Firmly? Try shit on a stick. All you've established is a possible route to the roof that you haven't found. And even then, a route doesn't put that bullet in the merc's head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt, in the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But...
there are weapons like this just laying around in Martinez.
That looks antique. A Velma grave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
There's a cellar underneath the bookshop. It was hidden there with others just like it.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there?
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss.
I have analyzed
just these cops
the
digging
bullet
up shit
that killed him. It was jacketed.
So
it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it?
Wait, did he say you don't have big guns? No, just say you're honest with him. Don't challenge him. Screw honest. You just showed him a breech-loading gun.
I just showed you the breech loader. Any child could have had it.
A broken old broomstick is what you showed me. But point taken.
Time to really close the deal. Show them the bullet.
This is the bullet that did it. 4.46 millimeter. Bella Grave uses the same caliber.
The blonde man looks at the mushroomed Deathbringer in the evidence bag and says,
"Yeah, the bitch is jacketed all right. 4 millimeter too."
Whoa. Well, goddamn. It's not proof, but it's a possible murder weapon. Close to her. Too damn close. You have been thorough. I'll give you that.
I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
All right. Keep talking. I'm getting a bit curious about some things myself.
T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
Claudia told me some pretty interesting things about Ruby. Claudia came downstairs. Ruby appeared to know that something was wrong.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Eugene wants a woman on the team so they can do their job. That must be hard. Half of Martinez is female.
Or she knew what happened because she killed him.
Not so useful.
Claudia told me some pretty interesting things about Ruby.
Yeah. Like what?
Apparently she had a thing for Claudia.
A thing? You mean?
Tilts his head to the side and falls silent.
Behind his squinting eyes, dominoes are falling. Fast.
I'm not homophobic, Ruby, but I need to find you!
Yeah, but they're both girls.
That's right, Fat Angus. They're both girls.
Girls like girls too, Angus, sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked Glacier.
It's scary, yes. She probably went to a university and learned it from a liberal! Come on, guys. She hangs out with you meatheads. This cannot come as a surprise.
Yeah? No. Ruby's got more balls than a ball pit. You'd have to be an idiot not to... Guys, I'm not the only one who knew. Right?
Knew what? First he says she's murdered him. Now she's a too? It's a lie.
Whoa there, Glenn. Throwing down static words like that.
Glenn here obviously likes men and he can't hack it. That's his thing.
Oh my god!
To get into it.
Thanks, empathy. Moving on.
Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do. Everyone knows which way the wind blows there.
I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday party.
She didn't fuck you. Cause you're 40, and you still live with your mom, Dennis.
Light laughter sounds off in the room. It feels nervous. Claudia said she made advances on her, and she thwarted them.
Ruby then threatened her and told her to end her relationship with the deceased.
Siloed. Welcome to the stream. Is that Klaus? Klaus over there? Klaus? Ruby then threatened her, and then, yep.
This is some sordid shit. It's also the kind of garbage our Miss Aronier puts out to cover her own ass.
Sort of, but he doesn't have to know that.
She just told us Ruby made her scared and she spilled the beans.
That Ruby is queer as cabaret.
Cabaret.
Now that I start thinking about it, I don't know why I didn't see it earlier.
Looks out the window pensively.
And that's okay. Some are queerer than others. You can still be a hardy.
Glenn.
If you bring your own personal shit into our outfit.
If that's the case, then it's not right. But it's...
There are many pieces that fit together that way, Eugene. Face it.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory about that too.
She could have been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
It's all there.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Titus, let's assume you killed her.
You wrong thin ice here, asshole.
It's a thought exercise, Titus. Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your men as part of a lynch mob, or alone for a cold-blooded murder?
Alone. I don't drag my men into shit with me.
There we go.
If she used us, then that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
But she didn't. This is fucking stupid, Titus. This and the queer thing, all of it. Why are more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town.
Titus, you need
This
to see
is
it.
good.
Things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods.
Theo.
A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However, hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me, personally?
Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
The hole in his heart.
Why not? You look about ready to do something pretty crazy because some bird fucked you over.
Don't forget the funny tie, too.
How can I forget?
You and I are going to dance in the moonlight under 1 billion stars.
You know, when I first
Thanks,
saw
Ty.
you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop.
Never. Not until the case is solved. And then the next case. And the next.
She's right, I won't.
Not until you have something on her. She says she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
And then when they're all empty, just move on, onto the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Is it true, Can? Is it true, Kim? Am I can opener?
You are insistent.
Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This caught Titus. This caught me. But she was too scared.
Scared? You should be too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
Do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Oh, there's some good line reading. Have you looked for it?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
You're all here. Who's that looking?
Lizzie needed some air.
The gardener? But she went to tell Everett.
You're a smart cop, but you're a stupid person. No one goes to tell Everett anything. If he has to know, he has to know fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
Could you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure, there are some shit houses there. A cinder block town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Genius lawyer.
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
Do you know what she's doing with the land frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
That's terrifying.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something.
I'm going to hit you with atrophy waves.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something.
It feels like you'll get to know soon enough.
It's not much, but it'll do. Go!
It'll have to.
Shake it.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
You should be a cop, Titus.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
Tell him.
Again, you find yourself looking at that big old window.
Really, you've been here for ages.
There's a yellow ribbon tied to
There
one
it
of
is.
the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it.
Someone's
Surely
hid a
not
key
a
in the bush.
coincidence.
Point at the window.
Huh?
I need you guys to hand the key to me. Can you let me slide by so I can grab the key?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The Hawthorne's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table.
Thanks,
to
Theo.
you. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in?
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
Maybe this is connected to Ruby getting to the roof?
Your secret root theory? You're grasping for straws, cop man. Why'd she put it back if it's hers? A little wisdom from old Titus. Not everything is connected to one thing. Keys just lie around. It's a messy world.
It's said without aggression, as genuine advice.
Leave. I thanked the old man because, well, just felt right. Alright, let's pop open that door.
You see, it could be connected to the key fit. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages.
Theo's probably was in the war.
No. Smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop.
Old pinball shop. So this is where we find out NB, the spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window. White Aurora. Female woman, female figure in mourning. Franco-Canadian. Theme is horses and carriages. Pinball Kim.
This small elevator,
Okay.
it smells of...
Yep.
The maintenance card under the control panel reads, last maintenance, 10th.
Go up. Small windows taped shut with black plastic. Boxes and tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Schematics for pinball machine, futurism themed. Pinball maker's coat. Good coat. Pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. A long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room.
Looks like they gave up on
the
fixing
tools
the
on the
pinball
shelf.
machines at some point.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
This used to be a pinball shop.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the Hearties bang away at it.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Could this be part of the Whirling Rags? Could this mean the Whirling Rags really is in the doomed commercial area?
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this. It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and God ought to be made knowledgeable so he could perform counterspells.
Thanks, Inland Empire.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Let's take a closer look.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. This print is unlike one left by a regular worker boot. It is not a brand sole with logos on it. It seems custom made.
Oh, wait a second.
Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man.
You know,
this is, unfortunately, the worst, most vague shoe size there
this
is.
could be from The Last Communist.
Of course. Damn.
This doesn't look like worker boots from the hanging, does it?
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
Doesn't look like worker boots.
No. This little horizon between that...
Everything around you is quiet.
That's right.
The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Someone's been
3
here the last
weeks
2
maximum.
weeks.
From the dust.
This is good. He likes it. That's a little smile there, in the dark of the workshop.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads.
Woo!
Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Let's go upgrade. I don't know. Encyclopedia? What does this mean?
It means someone snuck through what seemed like a secret route, leading to the roof, from where you can shoot our victim. This is significant. This prince, officer, could be the prince of our killer.
In more ways than one! There's a tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom on the other side.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
I think I can see into Clausia's bedroom from here.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusions.
I know you do electrochemistry. That's what defines you.
This is the inside of the barred door you've seen before.
Unbar the door. Hey, Clausia.
Officer.
Let's go back
what
to those
brings you
lies
up here in the
told me.
rain? Lies?
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. She slowly...
Nope. Alright, I just wanted to hit you with that. I just wanted to accuse you of being a filthy liar and then leave. Goodbye. Goodbye, Clausia. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Is there anything else you want? No, I'm good. Zoop. Old Pinball Kim.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
Run your finger across the dust of the white Deora.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
It's white Deora.
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
Deora was one of the 3 crown cities of the DeLorean era, on the Muindi Isola, the others being Ria Silvia and Advesperasket. This theme is all about early airships and beautiful, sad, pearl-laden women. It's quite nice, actually. The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
Sounds like you don't enjoy pinball, Kim.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
He doesn't.
What about the other one? The Franco-Canegrin ball. Want to play that?
No.
How about the Bad Boys?
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
He looks away.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
Kim Kitsuragi, Kim Kitsuragi.
Kim Pinball Kitsuragi.
Kim Pitball Kitsuragi, aka Kimball?
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
You're Kim Pinball Kitsuragi.
So now he remembers.
He looks at you in the silence of the workshop, then takes all his glasses off and cleans them.
Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations.
You don't seem to really like pinball.
No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastique, science fiction, and historic romance franchise. It is lame.
Why are you called pinball?
I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy.
How did you...
Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop.
Okay.
It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide.
Imagine.
End of story.
You were a juvie cop for 15 years.
That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno.
Oh, so
Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop.
You didn't want to talk to Kuno.
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
Don't worry, I'll keep calling you Kin.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
Kinball Kitsuragi. Hey guard, I got bad news. Smells like farts back there. Also,
Smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right?
The church is my love. Things are really bad with it.
Cool. Now, what can I do for you?
Think about the whirling rags.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Guard, what if I told you the back room? I got into the back room behind the blue steel door.
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
He's really, really holding himself back here. It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the
Aren't you gonna ask me what's back there?
Okay, what is back there?
Pinball machines.
Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Why, do you want to play? Because I might be up for a game.
No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
He was wondering about something business-related, about how much money he could make of one.
I feel a capitalist plot coming up.
Capitalist plot. The pinball we have in the corner now is broken. I want to diversify the entertainment options. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good sense to him right now. Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
I have to warn you, I may have discovered the whirling as part of the doomed commercial area.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
So he knows of the doomed commercial area
and
its address. He's thought about this.
Whirling isn't always a hostel.
Obviously it hasn't. Look at the pre-revolutionary tile work. This is an old, proud building. So what if there was a little pinball hall here before? For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here.
Damn.
I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, some doom ghost.
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before,
you really
the
care
hostel
about the
is
whirling.
actually very important to him.
Yeah, it's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way.
It is rather nice.
Even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area.
You shouldn't be so worried about that label, you know.
I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's doomed enough without
Who
that.
owns this place?
Some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved.
God.
There is an acrimonious note. It's clear he's doing the real work around here.
Who named it Whirling Rags?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song.
A song?
Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateneers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
What about those other cafeterias you manage?
What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Kraz Mazov and Ignis Nielsen and all those old ghosts.
He's hesitating, not sure if he should share this information with you. Encourage him.
The others?
The other is a kebab cart. It's very successful in its way, but it's nothing like the whirling.
Good luck to you with this place, then.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help.
Against the doom, it's implied.
So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we...
There's a peephole wall in the upstairs.
I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
The color has drained from his face. What a shame to fix such a good peephole.
Alright, you've been notified.
Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? Yes.
Goodbye. Yeah, I don't think Gart's peeping. I'm not gonna imply that stuff with him. He seems like a pretty alright guy. They are cool ghosts, though. Ghosts of doom, but cool ghosts. Yeah, I think Gart's just a nice guy. He's a nice guy who deals with a lot of crap. Like chain-smoking communists and, other things.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you?
Yeah, and?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
What do you mean?
Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
Well, the bullet didn't come from the roof. Could have come from anywhere on the coast.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
The bullet was jacketed, and they just don't lie these around everywhere.
Good point. It is rather rare these days, but do continue.
Turns out the bullet was an antique.
True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis, and then hand-waved it.
The footprints in the pinball workshop didn't fit with Oddshaw's footprints on the crime scene.
No, they didn't.
So far, no one mentioned hearing the shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
I'm done thinking about this.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it, and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof. Lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me? Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
This is one of the few times in the game Volition is, like, totally in the goddamn wrong. Oh, no you don't. I'm not done with him. So, the thing is, though, yes, he is right about the fact that everything is pinned on Ruby and not on Clausia. But the thing is, though, is that Volition is doing it because Volition does horrible knee-jerk reactions to things that compromise Harry. All of these emotions are defensive measures, really, for Harry. All the and Volition's probably the worst among them. He likes to hide it, but he is the gatekeeper of all the other thoughts, and he is the worst when he realizes that the other thoughts are getting compromised. Hey lady, I got some questions for you.
The old woman still sits in her chair, continuing with her chores. As she does so, she quietly hums to herself. The buzz of electric lights blends together with the slow rumble of the ocean waves at night. There's a gap where the name of that song should be. You should ask her about it right now.
You still up?
Yes, I can't really sleep anymore. Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older.
She sloshes the water in the bucket around for a bit.
My suggestion is, don't grow any older than you already are. That's old enough. What's troubling your mind?
What's the song you're humming?
A lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to my kids too. It's an old Samaran children's song.
What's it called?
Surrender to the night.
That's kind of grim for a children's song, even if it is a lullaby.
Sounds nice.
Yes, it does.
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
Okay, but you do know who I'm talking about?
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
It's like the man locked himself in the woodshed. We just need to help her come out.
No, it's not like that, man. With him we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass.
You know, someone called me, Washerwoman.
Enough of this. She better start talking right now.
See, you know something, but you decided not to tell us.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's...
Buy him off!
It's getting cold. This late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Ken.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Enter the shack. Everyone in this world has very melancholic aesthetic sensibilities. Well, you know, Itty, what helps with that is the fact that the world is literally dissolving around them.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Move the board aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Through sand and sawdust.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. Like your own Villiers pistol,
like the
for example. The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
Alright, I'm gonna confront the washerwoman. And I'm gonna go sleep and move on to the next day. And then I'll stream. She's blind, Handy. She's blind! Hello, washerwoman.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
I'm guessing you didn't put it there. Ruby did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You went to the room tour?
Yes. I let my room to that Ruby girl.
She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag. After a long silence, her hands move into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into? That girl.
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
You say that she left on Monday?
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the Lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No.
The truth, sire.
Thanks, drama. What was she like, Ruby?
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows how to work the village elder, unlike you.
Did she talk to you much this time?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do, but she was brooding.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Aye. Do tell.
A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter, like you sometimes get, son. She really believes that.
I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. Did you ever witness that kind of behavior?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset.
The sun sets for everyone.
Some deep words there, fucking Inland Empire. Jesus.
She isn't what you call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do.
Did she have any technical stuff with her?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made.
She brushes her forehead with the back of her hand, water drips to the ground.
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
Where'd she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
Further up the coast we go, then.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
She shoves the rag into the bucket. It's clean now.
No, you can do it. You still have plenty of juice in you before you drop. Behind the cinder block houses, old pre-war ruins rise to the sky like dark palaces. The wind calls.
Goodbye, I'm off.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
However, that's not going to happen tonight. It's going to happen tomorrow.
It's getting late, and...
Calling it a day. Because if you try to confront Ruby alone, you will die. Every time. She will kill you. Every time. The only reason that you're alive when you confront her is because Kim is there and she feels, she knows that...
The bed is comforting.
That Kim's probably not a bad cop.
Still, you've earned a rest.
She thinks that you're a bad cop, but there's no way that you can be a bad cop because you were far too fucking unstable to do that shit too.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Yeah.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Recorded in you. Forever. On ferrotape.
Spitting on empty.
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising. Rising. Above the dark curvature. The great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time. The last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers. The faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
The rain, the snow. I don't want to. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right. I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
God, those are some good motivational words. Thanks, fellas. Do it for the wind. Hit me in the heart. Breath of air that runs throughout the city. All right. There we go. That was another sesh of Disco Elysium. Thanks, everybody. for stopping on by and giving a watch. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. And oh, 1 second, hold up. Let me get the properly fitting little show of things. Hold up. Let me Disco Elysium closed. Closed. Yes. There we go. Yeah, super good stream. We'll pick up again with Disco Elysium another time. But until such an occasion, I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your night. And I look forward to streaming for you all again. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye.